and organizations across the spectrum can gain a better understanding of all the implications of this promising new industry. And today, we are pleased to say, welcome to Jamaica's inaugural Natural Gas Conference.
It is truly a very great pleasure for me to welcome you to this inaugural conference on natural gas, being held under the theme, New Horizons, the development of a natural gas sector in Jamaica, prospects and challenges. From where I sit, I am particularly gratified to see this event come to pass. And I know that this sentiment is shared by my colleagues at the OUR and PCJ, organizations which have each in their own way been in the vanguard of energy sector initiatives and have played indeed a pioneering role in staging this event. The emergence of a natural gas sector in Jamaica is a development that is long overdue for many reasons. Notably, the ever-increasing global demand for energy can no longer be met primarily by fossil fuels. We must find ways to satisfy our growing energy needs that do not threaten our natural resources. Failure to do so creates the real potential for catastrophic climate change, such as more powerful and less predictable hurricanes, which all of my fellow Caribbeans here this morning will very much appreciate has already begun. As a small island nation, very vulnerable to the dangers of climate change, we must focus on caring for our environment. In that effort, natural gas is a far cleaner fuel than the oil we burn and will significantly reduce Jamaica's carbon emissions. Jamaica's development plan, Vision 2030, has established as a national goal the development of a modern and efficient energy sector that provides affordable and reliable energy supplies. That securing this objective is imperative for a country like Jamaica is, I'm sure you will agree, impatient of debate. For much of the prospect for our economic development hangs on the achievement of this goal. Clearly, one of the ways this will be achieved is through the introduction, development, and use of new sources of energy, such as natural gas. I believe it's not overstating the case to say that the introduction of natural gas is a potential game changer for Jamaica's energy industry and indeed for the wider economy.
This conference is the result of partnership. So having been addressed by the chairman of the OUR, we will now hear from the chairman of the PCJ, Mr. Russell Hadid.
The effort to bring natural gas to Jamaica dates back almost 2 decades. Successive energy policies and strategies have sought to establish a supply stream for Jamaica with sources that are reliable, sustainable, environmentally friendly, and wherever possible, indigenous. This approach saw us moving away from heavy utilization of crude oil to a mix that includes more use of clean fuels and renewable sources. Against this background, the introduction of natural gas into Jamaica's energy landscape is a most welcome development. It represents an advancement of the government's strategy to modernize the country's energy infrastructure. While a few operators in the local energy sector are seized of the significance of this development, the message needs to spread to the wider community. As a government entity mandated to promote energy security, the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica wants to expand the dialogue around the commercial opportunities in natural gas. At the same time, the Office of Utilities Regulation is trying to involve local entities in the conversation around governance and regulations. The result is our collaboration to stage the first natural gas conference in Jamaica. The conference is a chance for local interests to learn from regional and international experts as well as service providers about the natural gas industry and its implications.
We have been trying to get natural gas as a source of fuel for quite some time. In fact, it's perhaps over 2 decades. We have finally started to do that, to get natural gas, and we think that it has a prospect to become a significant industry in Jamaica. The conference is aimed at stimulating interest. It is aimed at educating persons as to what the opportunities are. And the OUR, as a regulator for the electricity sector, we think that there are some regulatory issues that we might need to get some ideas on. It is not to determine that there is going to be any particular form of regulation, but it's more or less an awareness session. And we also think that it was an opportunity for networking, for business people to get together and to share ideas and to identify opportunities. It's a new horizon. It's a horizon that for us has been receding over the last 20 years, and to the extent that we have achieved it. And therefore, the question then rises to what are the challenges in terms of how it is developed going forward? How do you ensure that what has begun, and it has begun well, that it expands and that it benefits all of Jamaica? I think that's what we're trying to do here, to get a sense of what are the prospects, what are the opportunities, what are the potential benefits, and how do we set up a framework that allow those opportunities to be taken advantage of.
We go to a break, but stay with us. There's much more after this.
Dodgen Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodgen Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodgen Global. Requirements: first degree in accounting, employed at Dodgen Global, willing to pursue the CPA examination. Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodgen Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
It's the only show that traces the steps of professionals.
From first and second form, I was involved in some club, some activity.
Then gives information on exactly how to get into that same career.
You do need a good grasp of English.
And know you can branch out into whatever area you want to.
Tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Career Moves and catch up on all our episodes at BATVJA.com.
As a non-oil producing country and a developing economy, successive Jamaican governments have long recognized the necessity of a reliable and sustainable energy supply. Historically, our energy profile has been characterized by an overdependence on imported fossil fuel. On average, some 20 million barrels of oil is needed annually, which can cost the country as much as $2 billion, depending, of course, on the market prices. And we are familiar as it relates to the effects of market prices on the price of oil and how it impacts our local economy. In fact, Jamaica's national oil bill accounts for our largest outflow of foreign exchange, and it continually exceeds our total annual export earnings. And while the oil market has been relatively stable over the last 18 months, We know that the volatility of oil prices can drive up demand for foreign exchange and even trigger inflation, which of course can result in a devaluation of the Jamaican currency, and more importantly, eroding our purchasing power. The impact of higher energy costs is felt across all sectors, including the manufacturing sector, hospitality, agriculture, commerce. In essence, higher energy costs impact our daily lives. To address these imbalances, Jamaica's energy policy prescribes energy diversification as the key to achieving the kind of energy security the country needs. Our diversification drive aims to encourage the development of indigenous energy sources. As such, we are increasing our use of renewable energy from our natural resources, such as wind, hydro, and solar. In addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, we are undertaking exploration activities to search for oil and gas in our offshore blocks. Now, while an indigenous gas supply would be our hope for the future, the reality that faces us is the need to fully utilize the affordable, efficient energy sources we have at our disposal here and now. Now, New Fortress Energy signed a 20-year supply agreement with JPS and invested some $750 million in the construction of a new LNG terminal in Montego Bay. This significant initial step, ladies and gentlemen, has opened up prospects for numerous local entities and also given rise to several new ventures. A few of the developments along this line include a new 190 megawatt gas-fired
taxis in this country where there are very clear rules and regulations that say that the windows must not be tinted, that there shouldn't be any markings on those taxis, that they should abide by the law like the rest of us, obeying red lights, not cutting up on the outside, all of that stuff that you guys live with every single day of your lives and causes you all stress. And I believe that we have to start by dealing with that. Now, people say, well, how do you do it? I'll take the last one first. There should be a war on licensed taxi drivers and unlicensed taxi drivers. It should be not just the police responsibility, because we always take that short-sighted view, well, the police aren't doing their job properly, but there's a transport authority. There appears to be a very vocal representatives for taxi drivers who came out last week because they were upset about the amended Road Traffic Act, which of course is a good thing and is designed to actually bring us into line. So I feel that we can do a lot. We should be able to live in a normal society, and that means before we get to anything technical, we need to get those basics right. Not rely just on the police, but just take taxis as an example. There is no reason at all why the Transport Authority, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the local authorities, those who represent the taxi drivers cannot get together and clear it up overnight, make it safe for us. We're lucky. Most of the people in this room, I bet, drive their own cars to and from work. We don't have to put up with some of the terrible situations that other people crammed into taxis and buses have to. So I think we also have a duty to them to try to improve things.
We are up on another break, but please stay with us. We'll be right back.
My name is Levon Flynn, and you're watching Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
Thanks for staying with us. Here are more highlights.
From where you sit, Mark Shields speaks much towards institutional strengthening. But I want to put to you the citizen having a responsibility as well, and how the citizen carries out that duty within the democracy. Stepping up to call for the kind of order that Mark Shields is advocating for, or are we merely bystanders?
Let me say, if I use the PSOJ and its president as an example, we would say that we're not standing up. In February of this year, the president called rightly for an oversight committee to deal with crime and violence. Now it is November and we have not seen it. How many citizens, how many civil groups have supported that call is really inadequate.
We heard an announcement from the Prime Minister yesterday in New York saying that he's going to be setting up a commission on crime early in 2019.
Yeah, I heard it before that it was going to set up a summit.
Yes, we heard about the summit too.
Yeah, so it's not new. What I said on Sunday at a congregation in St. Thomas, and Mark Shields was mentioning 20,000 killed since he has been here. And I've been here a little longer than him. I said that if any year 500 persons were killed who are the brightest and best, influential leaders, we would find the resources and the time to make significant changes. In other words, because it's not affecting us so much, I live in a gated community. Some people have protective services, but anytime it starts to affect us greatly, we will do more.
This is where I'd love to bring you in, Richard Divins, because the question is, how much of a rights-based approach do we take in dealing with citizen security?
Well, this is something that the government has been starting doing in the last years, at least for a program that we have been supporting, which is the poverty reduction program. And in a certain way, the fact that we are supporting the social inclusion of areas of here in Kingston and other areas in Jamaica, the fact that we are trying to promote a better economy in those areas, we are trying to promote the safety, the social cohesion. This is something which is very much related in improving the security in those areas. And in this respect, it is very important. It's very important when the government, or together with international donors, we are supporting the design of a citizen security program in the social aspect of the citizen security, the participation of the communities in the decision-making of the activities, of the project, of the initiatives is crucial. Without the participation of the civil society, without the participation of the community, it's impossible to take ownership. We need the commitment of the people.
The question is, what are they committing to? Especially when they already think that it's a sort of a one-man against the world situation, the rest of the society is against them. They're ensconced in their own, enclaves, so to speak, thinking that they abide and apply their own rules. Here comes now social intervention, trying to change all of that. But how much will social intervention be influential to the process? What else is needed?
Social intervention will contribute a great deal. It has been contributing and it will continue to contribute. But by itself, of course, social intervention will not do everything. You speak of citizen security as effective crime management. Citizen Security and Justice Program is out of the Ministry of National Security, but it has a component that deals with the Ministry of Justice. When we look at social development, we have to speak of citizen security, yes, but we have to speak of justice. We have to speak of rights. As you know, Peter Tosh had said, he wants equal rights and justice. Don't give me no peace, I want equal rights and justice. And unless citizens see themselves as owning or owning a process of development, of inclusion, they will not feel as if, yes, it is for their benefit. Our experience has shown, and I'm sure JCIF and other agencies have shown, that residents of vulnerable communities wholeheartedly support and embrace social interventions when they are a part of the process. We deal with crime prevention. As you know, crime and violence is multifaceted. It has many different actors, many different players, many different sectors. We do not treat with crime control, or crime suppression, which we see as the work of the security forces. We think that crime prevention is critical to the development of Jamaica, to treating with crime and violence. And crime prevention starts before a child is born.
Yes.
And it goes way on into adulthood. We have not yet, and the chairman spoke about it, recognized fully knowledge. We do not know how important crime prevention is, in that we have to treat with it in a sustained, multifaceted manner. In a nutshell, no ministry should get a budget passed each fiscal year without showing the country where in that budget is the allocation for activities to treat with crime prevention. Because it is so multifaceted, it touches on every sector. Every sector has a role to play. And let me repeat, no budget should be approved unless we can see where that sector, what that sector is doing. We welcome the idea of an oversight or a commission, because what we have observed is that the lack of collaboration among the sectors is one of the handicaps. It is something which causes waste, inefficiency, lack of adequate outcomes. And until the government can have a robust, very robust mechanism, institutional arrangement to ensure that there's collaboration between education, health, national security, all of these sectors working in their own way, but at the same time designing together, implementing together, evaluating together. Until we get that, we will be groping in the dark to a large extent.
And that's it for coverage of the final PSOJ President's Breakfast Forum for 2018. I'm Javon Keys for Business Access TV, serious about business.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
Have grown from 20 million US to now having 800 million US dollars.
Knowledge, skill, and professionalism. Those are my tools and my armor.
It's a big men don't cry, right? It's a big men don't cry, right?
We were being robbed some $531,000.
I've been angry to the point where I feel like I will get it, baby.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
According to Booker T. Washington, success is to be measured not so much by the position that one has reached in life as by the obstacles which he has overcome while trying to succeed. You have so much more to achieve. Don't limit yourself to your current situation. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. We have an interesting show lined up just for you as we tackle matters relating to the plastic ban and apiculture. You don't want to miss a minute, so stay tuned. Reggae Month 2020 is here and a host of activities are in store across the island. Echoes of sound systems, Reggae Wednesdays, Reggae Gospel Concert, Bob Marley's 75th birthday celebrations, Jaria Honours Award, Reggae Film in the Park, Children of the Icon Store concert and more. Keep up to date on all the activities. Download the new Reggae Month mobile app. Simply search the words Reggae Month Jamaica in the Google Play or App Store. The app will also allow you to add and promote your own Reggae Month activity. So what are you waiting for? Download away and make use of this innovative technology today. Reggae Month 2020. Come catch the rhythm. Government has embarked on the second phase of the plastic ban, barring the local manufacture, distribution, and use of expanded polystyrene foam products used in the food and beverage industry. Get the Facts is next with more information as we adjust to the changes.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Enthros Campbell. The government has embarked on the second phase of the plastic ban, prohibiting manufacture, distribution, and use of expanding polystyrene foam products. In this edition of Get the Facts, we are joined by Olivia Anderson, Manager, Public Education and Corporate Communication at the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. She will be answering your questions on this initiative. Ms. Anderson, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So good to have you on set. Now, so the ban is now in its second phase, yes? Tell us about the first phase. How did that go?
Well, on September 17th, rather, 2018, the minister made an announcement to implement a ban on 3 items: single-use plastic bags, plastic drinking straws, and the importation of expanded polystyrene foam. So that was phase 1. In terms of phase 1, the response has been good so far. Even walking the streets, we see more people with their tote bags, persons walking out of the supermarket with their items in their hand if they forgot. Initially, we as Jamaicans, there was some trepidation, but I can see that we have gotten more used to this new plastic-free Jamaica.
Right. Have you noticed any impact? I know it's early days yet, but the impact on the environment?
Well, recently, the Jamaica Environment Trust led International Coastal Cleanup Day. The results were released roughly a week or so ago. And one of the things that we noticed is that there was some reduction in terms of some of the items that was banned. So we're seeing incremental impact, but we're not seeing the big shift. And we believe that this will take a lot more time.
Yes. So what's the next step?
In terms of the next step, we're currently in phase 2, where we're phasing out expanded polystyrene foam, which some people commonly call styrofoam. So in terms of where that is concerned, we want persons to make the transition to reusable, to even bring in their own containers, and to find recyclable alternatives. So that is where we are.
So what kind of help are you giving to persons who will need alternative products?
Well, one of the things that the government has done in their research, they have gone out to the market to see, where the alternatives. One of the reasons why we're proceeding with phase 2. So we're so confident that the industry has reacted sufficiently well. And Savlamar to St. Thomas, we know that there are alternatives available.
Okay, so is there any help?
One of the things that was extended for businesses when the ban was announced in 2018 was a facility with the DBJ, the Development Bank of Jamaica, and that is available to businesses who are retooling. So that is in terms of the help so far.
Right. Do we have anything else in place that is to assist with the whole cleaning up of the country?
All right, so we rely heavily on the NSWMA. And there's also a project that we're working on called the Plastic Waste Minimization Project. And 2 key parameters of that project, we're doing a pilot project in Raytown that is on your way to the airport side. So in Raytown, we're looking to get the behavior change. And once we pilot that project, we want to get more Jamaicans on board. And even at NEPA, we have a Green Business Initiative program where we're helping businesses to green their operations in terms of energy savings where plastic consumption is concerned. So those are some of the initiatives. And under the Plastic Waste Minimization Project, we're doing a regulatory impact assessment to basically track how the ban has been going to date.
Right. Talk to us about that project to get behavior change. Who you're targeting in Raytown first, you're saying?
Right, that's under the Plastic Waste Minimization Project. But largely what the campaign that we have been pushing is Plastic Free Jamaica. We have gone to the highways and the byways. We've gone to town centers, communities, and we're engaging persons one-on-one in terms of how they feel about the ban. We're even introducing them to the alternatives. So you would see us walking and say, this is something that we could use, helping them to find that. So Plastic Free Jamaica and Plastic Waste Minimization Project are 2 of the initiatives that we're working on.
What's the kind of feedback are you getting? Are people liking it? They really want to go with it?
The feedback has been relatively good, but we've also had some persons who they feel as if they have been displaced. But we've used it as an opportunity to reassure them and to point them into the direction of where the alternatives are. Some of the feedback that we've gotten from persons of all ages is, we should have done this a long time ago. We should have done this. We've taken too long because this is something that's coming from 2016. And in terms of others, we're getting feedback in terms of the alternatives, and that is where we've really focused a lot of our energy into pointing persons to where the alternatives are.
Where are they?
Well, the alternatives are readily available. They're in supermarkets, they're in haberdashery wholesales, and they're even importers who are bringing in. And the plastic ban has opened up opportunities for even local businesses. We see businesses, even where the straws are concerned, are making bamboo straws. We see businesses, that eco-friendly business is popping up to supplement the need for the ban. So the ban has provided an opportunity for those players.
Right. Are you thinking about plastic as in bottles too?
Plastic bottles is one of the critical parts of the announcement. And in terms of the government's plan, that is involved in a deposit refund scheme that is being handled by the Recycling Partners of Jamaica. And the initiative was officially launched in September 2019. One of the things that has already occurred was that on plastic bottles, a $1 cess has been put in from the manufacturer side. So each manufacturer will pay $1 per bottle. And that is going to give the Recycling Partners of Jamaica the resources to expand their network. And currently they have 18 drop-off locations. And I encourage the viewers to visit their website and to call them to find out where they could drop off their plastic bottles.
Those websites again? Where?
Recycling Partners of Jamaica.
Right. Okay.
So the deposit refund scheme, we want to get to the place on which the deposit refund scheme was built, where we have persons, you getting a dollar value per bottle. But we're not quite there yet, but we're taking the steps, and that is something on the agenda.
Yes, because in the past with the bottles, we're usually able to take back our bottles and get money for it, right? So you're heading there.
That is exactly where we're going.
Yes, okay. All right, we take a break now. When we come back with more discussion on the Plastic Ban Initiative. Stay with us.
Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. Keep we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it.
No dash, no paper, no dash, no plastic. Dispose your garbage responsibly. No know how to recycle, learn it quick. And if you drop it, better pick up every piece of it. Plastics last forever, don't forget the bits. Cause when them touch the street, them end up in the sea. Collect pan the reef where they fish them feed. And when you want seafood, I eat your
Keep
eat.
we island clean, so clean. From the peaks to the beach, so clean. No dirty up Jamaica, please don't do it. No dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica, no dirty up Jamaica.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We continue our discussion with Olivia Anderson, Manager, Public Education and Corporate Communication at NEPA. Right, so talk to us a little bit more about the projects for enforcement.
All right, so where enforcement is concerned, rather, we want Jamaicans to get on board and to comply voluntarily. So one of the things that we have done when we started was we went around the country, and instead of serving people up front and taking it to the courts, we gave them warning notices. We confiscated some of the banned items, and we did that for several businesses. However, we had to take it a step further because later in the year we realized that some persons and businesses were not complying even after, being warned and given what we would say a ticket. So we had to go back and serve those businesses, and today we have served 36 and 19 matters have been heard in parish courts across the island, with our most recent 12 defendants in St. James, in Western Jamaica rather. So we are making good strides. So that brings us to 19. And of the 36, we have one that is going through appeal. And we also have a total of 19 that we have already received judgment from the parish judges on.
Right, so who can be fined? We're asking people not to manufacture these items. But say I go to the store and I buy something and they give me in this banned item. I can be prosecuted?
You know what we want persons to do if you go to the store and you get it, report it to us. The emphasis on the ban in terms of how the legislation, and there are two prohibition orders, one under the Trade Act and one under the Natural Resources Conservation Authority, NRC Act. And in terms of how the legislation was drafted, we're not targeting you, the supermarket shopper. We're targeting the supermarkets, we're targeting the wholesales, we're targeting the restaurant owners, because what we want to do is to get the banned items out of the supply chain. We want you to refuse, but we don't want you to have as much, we don't want to make the banned items available to you as much as is possible. Okay. So in terms of those who we have prosecuted, the information has to do with the importation. We haven't prosecuted anyone for importation, and I must use this opportunity to commend the Jamaica Customs Agency, who's been doing an excellent job where border protection is concerned. And then on the ground, we've been working closely with the National Compliance and Regulatory Authority, as well as the security forces, to go in and to get these convictions. We want Jamaicans to comply. We want businesses to comply. We even set up a hotline, and the number is 876-285-8531, and an email address, which is policyon.plasticban@nepa.gov.gm, so that individuals, businesses, companies can always reach out to us and get some clarification. One of the things that the government has also put in place is that at the Bureau of Standards Packaging Laboratory, you can get items tested to see whether they fall into the banned items. So there have been mechanisms that have been put in place for persons who are uncertain of whether their items are banned.
Okay. All right. So how do you know that people don't have leftover items?
One of the things that we had asked for was for a declaration. Yes. That was something that we had asked for earlier on. And one of the things in 2019 was that an initial grace period was given until roughly mid-February, end of February in 2019 for persons who had their stocks to deplete. So while we have implemented the ban, we have not taken a draconian measure. We want Jamaicans to feel the importance and to understand that what we're doing, we're not doing it to be harsh on them, but we're doing it to protect for all of us.
Absolutely. Right, to protect us. Let's talk about climate change and the relationship with plastic.
You know, plastic, there is a study that I would encourage any Jamaican to go and have a look at, and the United Nations Environment Program, it's called Plastic: A Roadmap to Sustainability. And that is where we want to go, sustainability. We want all of our natural resources to be here for our future generations. When we think about plastics, we think about, in terms of our waste management system, the impact that it has, because you have some plastics that takes 500 to 1,000 years to break down. Can you imagine where we're going to store those items? And even if they're in the soil or if they're in a landfill, it's still going to pose a challenge. Soil pollution is also a concern because there are chemicals that are used to make these items, and these can sometimes leach into the soil. And even for those that break down, they break down into something we call microplastics, and there have been several studies to indicate how microplastics have been entering into the food chain. So, you know, my CEO would normally say, you know, one time you used to bring home the fish in a bag, but now you're bringing home the bag in the fish. And we see that the plastics are also impacting on our wildlife, not only fish, but even our turtles, and they're ingesting it. we saw the story internationally of the whale that had tons of plastics in its gut. It died of hunger. So it has a far-reaching implication. It blocks our drains, it blocks our waterways. And if you've ever been, and I'm sure GIS has been, to International Coastal Cleanup Day, we can see firsthand the impact.
Yes, definitely. We have. So we're in phase 2, and there's a phase 3. Yes.
Absolutely.
How's that going? And tell us about that.
Phase 2, we're in continuous dialogue with the manufacturing sector and in terms of the businesses who have come out in support as well. One of the things that we're putting in place is we're reminding businesses in terms of this third phase, one of the straws that are attached to Tetra Pak pouches, to juice pouches. I won't call some of the names, but we know for the small children that they use, those will be banned come 2021. And in terms of the size of the bag will remain the same, but the thickness will increase. So in terms of how that looks, the ban in the first phase targeted bags 1.2 mils, and 1.2 mils is a little technical, but 1.2 mils is thinking of your regular scandal bag. Yes. And then now we know that we go to some bookshops or we get the nice gift bags. We're going up to those sizes. So we're doing it incrementally because we want Jamaicans to make the switch over time.
Okay, good. As we wrap, just your message to Jamaica as it relates to this ban. Try to encourage us how, to really support the band.
We say that we're Jamaica, land of wood and water, and we think about how long plastic takes to break down. We want to have Jamaica, land of wood, water and air for our future generations, and we can only do that by having a plastic-free Jamaica. We also want Jamaicans to see the opportunities that the plastic ban has come. So we want for you to preserve our land by supporting the plastic ban.
Very good. Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
Useful information. Mm-hmm. This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Olivia Anderson, Manager, Public Education and Corporate Communication at NEPA. We urge you to continue recycling and stop using plastic items that have been banned. Keep our country clean. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you another informative discussion, I'm Rose Campbell. Do take good care.
Apiculture in Jamaica is big business, and farmers have been experiencing lots of success over the years. Grab your pen, pencils, and paper to get all you need to know about participating in this growing industry.
Apiculture is an art and it's a science. And it's an art and science of managing bees. So everything that we do in the hive, everything that is happening in the hive is very scientific. And as beekeepers, we craft the way how we manage the bees. So every beekeeper that you speak to, they will have a different approach to different aspects of beekeeping.
Given that the importation of honey into Jamaica is restricted, you can only imagine what big business beekeeping is for our farmers. They have expanded from just providing honey for citizens and have moved on to creating many different byproducts. But have you ever wondered how you can get involved and have your share of the sweetness?
For you to be a beekeeper, you have to develop certain comfort in dealing with this thing, which is not a maybe when you're a beekeeper in Jamaica. It is a must. So every time you get a sting, it becomes irritating to you. But then because we love what we're doing, we don't pay much attention to the irritating part. We're more focused on what we're doing, and we know that at the end of the day we're going to get honey. And when we get honey, we can convert that to money. So for us in St. Thomas, from time to time we have projects. And quite a few of the persons in St. Thomas who are beekeepers, they start out benefiting from projects that would have beekeeping components. So training is critical because then you have to know how to navigate your way through an environment that is challenging to allow you to harvest honey and to make a livelihood from beekeeping. I would advise anybody who would like to make their own box to purchase a box to start with, or you borrow a properly made box, because the bees are very scientific. They're very specific in terms of the design of the space that they occupy. And if you make a mistake and where you're supposed to have 3/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch, you put 1/2 inch, or you put less than 1/4 inch, then you're going to have problem as a beekeeper. So a beekeeper has to be knowledgeable about what is normal in the hive. So I tell people that when you come into the apiary, there's a normal sound. And if you listen, you hear a hum. When I hear that as a beekeeper, I know that they're finding food out there. They're finding nectar, they're finding pollen, and so on, when I hear this hum. When you go into the hive, there are many things in there that you have to observe. Right? You have to observe the condition of the comb, whether the combs are, I always say, old and crystallized, because once they get old and crystallized, you want to get rid of those combs. You want to look at the color of the brood. When we say the brood, we're talking about from the larval stage now to when they get to the pupal stage. You want to observe that, because there's a normal way that they should look, and there's an abnormal way when something is going wrong that they would look differently. You want to observe the queen and the condition of the queen as expressed in the amount of eggs that are laid, as expressed by the amount of seal brood that you see. Right? In the bee yard, you want to be observant of everything. I usually tell trainees that when you come into the bee yard or into the apiary, you have to look around at the trees and the shrubs around, because there might be a swarm that is lingering. That swarm might have taken place in your absence. Might even be the very morning before you come to the apiary. You have to observe and see if any of that is there, because if you let that swarm escape, then you're looking at some dollars and some of your profitability that is going down the drain. You want to be able to have a bee yard that is not necessarily sterile, but clean enough that if you have dead bees around, you can see them on the ground. If you have bees that have been affected by the varroa mite and they are suffering from viral attack, there's a virus that they call the wing curl virus. Those bees, when they reach the age and the stage to fly, they cannot fly because the wings are deformed. And so those bees, you will see them crawling on the ground, and they will crawl around on the ground until ants get them or until they die.
That's just the bare bones of what you need to learn about beekeeping. Do more research to increase your knowledge. But as you do, ask yourself this: am I registered with the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA?
It is of great importance for a farmer to become registered or get registered with RADA, because indirectly they assist us in making national plans. For example, when we are doing our national plan, knowing the demographics of the farmer, where they are, the type of production that they do, it allows us to pinpoint as to what projects or programs can be implemented, and also if we should have disaster, diseases, we know where the concentration of farmers are located. Or once you come to the RADA office, you can either speak with myself, the livestock officer, or the extension officer, and we'll provide you basic information on what is needed, how you go about it. We also give you the other linkages, such as the apiculture unit at Borders, that you can contact for other information. We also do assessment. We assist you in doing site assessments of your apiaries, and also kind of hold your hand in terms of getting started. And if we have projects or programs and we can have you on that project or program, we also put you there. The advice that I give to beekeepers is to do your production in a manner that has a business-like approach. From my observation, many beekeepers think that having the bees they're just there. They don't really take the time out to assess their apiaries. Mr. McNeish mentioned about sanitation. They don't really look at that. So I say just manage your apiary, monitor your hives, keep your proper record so that you can have a good production.
Garbage collection, maintenance of public sanitary conveniences, upkeep of cemeteries, provision of water shops, road improvement, street lights, poor relief programs, community beautification. All these services are funded by you. Yes, they are, when you pay your property tax. Pay your annual property tax to make Jamaica the place of choice for all.
Jamaica is scheduled to host the 4th Energy and Climate Partnership of the Americas ECPA Ministerial Meeting from February 27 to 28 at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James. The ECPA Ministerial Meeting will be held under the theme Energy Resilience and Investment Opportunities. It will include the participation of energy ministers from 30 countries, development partners, and private sector stakeholders. The sessions will explore the relationship between energy and gender, poverty, efficiency, resilience, and research. It will also explore renewable energy, efficient use of cleaner fossil fuels, and regional energy integration. The government will be using information garnered from the ministerial meeting to improve the island's efforts at becoming the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Thanks for watching another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. Do join us again tomorrow when we'll do this all over again. Until then, send your feedback on today's show to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Also, follow us on our social media pages and download our app on your Apple and Android devices. And you can also visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for more information. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica. Hey guys, I'm Candy and welcome to Chill Spot, Jamaica's ultimate leisure show. This season promises to reveal some of the hidden treasures of the lifestyle industry by taking you to the chill spots of some of Jamaica's most brilliant business minds, giving you a glimpse into how they choose to unwind and just pull a vibe. You won't want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
I'd just like to welcome everybody today, and I'm sure that you'll agree that this is a perfect way to start the new year. Opening this impressive building where we now have two extraordinary companies located. Concentrix, our anchor client, and one of the largest BPO operators, and the other tenant is Jamaica's own Unique Vacations, and they're doing all the customer service and reservations for the sandals resorts that are located throughout the Caribbean. It's phenomenal to host these two companies and such an honor for the Free Zone. And we want to thank them for their confidence of locating here. There have been many detractors of the industry out there, making uninformed and negative statements about working conditions. And this is why we're so fortunate to have a Prime Minister business, pro-growth, and sees clearly the incredible value that BPO brings to the Jamaican economy. And the industry's ability to provide jobs at an unrivaled rate. And without these work opportunities, many of these people that are employed here would join a generation of lost and unemployable people. So for those of you too young to know or too old to remember, or if you're not from Montego Bay, I'd like to give you a little history. While we're sitting here now, was not long ago a pasture. And a little further in that direction, where the BNS and Fontana and the cinema are located, was a cane piece. In 2002, I was serving on the board of JAMPRO, and then the portfolio minister was Philip Paulwell, and he was bringing some BPO investors down here. I don't know if Conrad was yet at JAMPRO, but he was bringing some investors to establish a BPO operation by helicopter. And he asked me to meet him in this very spot, which was a pasture. And I got here 15 minutes before the helicopter arrived, and I couldn't believe the amount of cows in this very spot. So when the helicopter came, of course, the cows went crazy, stampeded, and the investors came off the helicopter very shocked. And unfortunately, we didn't get that investment. That same minister, in what was called youthful exuberance, promised the country 40,000 jobs within 3 years. And guess what? It's taken us 15 years, but we are on the cusp to surpass that 40,000 jobs. And in this free zone alone, with this building, we passed the 10,000 employment of the free zone alone. An incredible milestone. Our Prime Minister, who from day one has not only declared BPO as his primary growth strategy, but has walked the walk by making investments in building BPO space that ensures that we're ready for business and that the growth is real. In this industry, if you don't have space and infrastructure to offer clients, they will simply move their investment plans elsewhere. So today, to be at the same spot in this old pasture where we recently visited our Prime Minister with his shovel, breaking ground for what we now see behind us, makes this an incredible day and one we can all be proud of. This building will provide a living for over 2,000 families for years to come and provide foreign exchange earnings that we all desperately need to support the economic recovery that Jamaica was promised for so long, and we're finally seeing for the first time in most of our lives. I want to thank you, Prime Minister, and your team of hard-working ministers for your advocacy and your determination in having the free zone succeed. And of course, the PAJ staff and under the leadership of Gordon Shirley and Gloria Henry, who forms part of that through the Montego Bay Free Zone, and the respective boards of directors. I see That entire row in the front there is our Free Zone Board of Directors, and we have Port Authority directors here, and former Free Zone chairman here, and my father is here, and so many others. And I have to acknowledge my wife and my mother, or else I'll be really in trouble. So protocols have been observed, and I don't want to list everybody, but there's probably several people I've missed, and the mayor. But I would like to thank you all and just say that being here today is a very, very special moment, and as I said, a great way that I'm starting my year, and I hope you feel the same way. Welcome and thank you.
Great design is not only how things look, but also how well they work. The GLC, more than meets the eye.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
It really is a pleasure for PAJ to be a partner in the development of your great city, Mr. Mayor. This is the fastest growing municipal center in Jamaica and probably in the Caribbean, actually. Aside from our investments here, which I'll speak about in a moment, I wanted to signal that we are also investors in a neighboring Freeport terminal. This is one of the, it's a significant investment for Port Authority, and because it is such a secret, allow me for just 1 second to tell you a little bit about what we have been doing over in Freeport. Over the past 2 years, we have renovated the main cruise terminal at berth 5 and 6 and constructed a new one at berth 2 to accommodate the expansion of home porting. We have also developed new ground transport management facilities over there. And as a result, Montego Bay is now the fastest growing cruise terminal in the country. We have facilitated the construction of Fortress's new LNG facility, and we have dredged the harbor to accommodate even larger cruise ships and cargo facilities. Currently, we are constructing a new cargo at berth 1, a new cargo facility at berth 1. We are expanding berth 2 to accommodate the largest cruise vessels. We are investing in new cargo handling equipment, reach stackers, terminal trucks, and so on. We are implementing a new automated terminal operating system and implementing a new port community system. Over $35 million is being spent in the neighboring facility, which is intended to transform that facility into the most dynamic and significant mixed terminal anywhere in the Caribbean. And as important as it is for us to be developing in those facilities, a mandate of the Port Authority is to develop the near port areas in immediate proximity of our terminals with a view to creating economic growth and job creation. And the most dynamic near port facility that we have is the Montego Bay Freeport. The Board of Montego Bay Free Zone and the Board of Port Authority were early in recognizing the growth in markets such as analytics and market research, engineering design, medical transcription, health information management, financial and legal process outsourcing, publishing, and outsourcing of R&D. Our objective is to capitalize on the growth of this knowledge process outsourcing segment and to transform the zone in a manner that makes it attractive for firms to want to perform these types of services here in Jamaica and here in the Montego Bay Free Zone. This effort is already bearing success. Examples of this include the fact that Numerator, one of the clients here, is providing market intelligence and complex CRM services. Software development for desktop and mobile applications is being provided by Avonmark. Shared services in finance and accounting is being provided by Advanced Call Center Technology and Conduent. Medical transcription is being provided by Infinity Behavioral Health Services. Data analytics by Numerator. Payroll processing, corporate filings, and corporate support by Conduent. And market campaign, advertising, and promotion by Centerfield Media. The investment of approximately $10 million in this new 63,000 square foot facility, which is being opened today, is a reflection of the commitment to creating the kinds of facility suitable for accommodating the companies that wish to perform these higher value added services here in Jamaica. It is designed with the employees in mind and with all the necessary amenities and features of the best BPO centers anywhere in the globe. With this new facility, an additional 1,500 to 2,000 jobs, as Mark mentioned, will be accommodated. And the zone is now, we are proud to say that the zone is now home to 10,600 good paying jobs, impacting the lives of our young graduates and their families.
Ladies and gentlemen, a decade and a half ago, I responded to an advertisement looking for a client services manager, and I felt it was Port Authority, so I applied for that job. And I had a choice at the time, two financial institutions, but because I knew Port Authority is the place to work, and it had all that lovely reputation, so I chose to come here. And 1 week into the job, when I realized it was a free zone, I was dying. I was like, oh my God. And I remember going into my office one day and I said, Lord, it's not too late to call in CV. Please give me a direction because I don't know if I can cope with this job. And then to make it worse, I walked out of my office and there was a customer ranting and raging about a problem. And then he said to me, so how long are you planning to be here? And I was like, oh my God, so people don't stay here. So I was really worried. But then I got the divine word and I was divinely led, and here am I. And you know, we were perhaps about 20-something% occupied in our warehousing space and vacant in many of our building spaces. We use car parks to play football and volleyball and netball, and we use empty buildings to store stuff for anybody who wanted to store things because we had so many spaces. But in 5 years, we were full. We were 100% occupied. And at that time, we advanced a proposal under the chairman of Mr. Dare to put up this building. Well, 9 years later, here we are. But we are here because of the effort, the contribution, the blood, sweat, and tears, the toiling of many, many, many persons. Not just the Port Authority, but the unsung heroes who work in this industry. Those who have launched businesses here that have gone global, those whose business have gone and listed on the stock exchange in the US, those who serve Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 customers, those whose work make Jamaica look like the best place, and it is the best place indeed in the world. Those whose work stand out against any first world country. These are the people who work in the BPO centers. They represent diversity. So I know you hear a lot about the call center, but call center is not all that we do. Yes, that's where we started. And you know, you don't want to shake off your history completely. You heard some of the things that Professor articulated earlier that we're doing in this business. And so today we want to invite some of our workers who have been here, who have worked in different segments of the business, to share with you in 2 minutes some of their testimonials.
I have been with Teleperformance since the inception of the company. That's 20 years ago.
So yes, I have been with Teleperformance for 20 years. After graduating high school, it was clear I was unable to immediately afford college, and so I made the decision to work. I started as an agent and was promoted to a manager 3 years later. Through my way of professionalism and consistency with effectively managing a team, I was further promoted to an assistant call center manager. I have played multiple roles, lead roles in the organization, such as the lead engagement coordinator, guest speaker at Jump, and I'll talk briefly about what Jump is. So within Teleperformance, we have a program that we develop our agents to become leaders. So the Jump program, so we can basically promote from within. So that's like a synopsis of what the Jump program is. And a motivational speaker to the new hires. I have led multiple charges as it relates to growth and development in the organization. I have mentored several of my peers and has changed the lives of many through my testimonies. I am known to speak the hard truth. With honest persona, there's not a question with the heart for my job. I have significant strides in the career and personal development. I am now a call center manager and with direct oversight of over 500 employees. I have a great deal for passion for excellence. I'm a mother, a wife, and currently a student at the Montego Bay Community College, where I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree in business management. The BPO has provided an avenue not only for creating jobs in the country, but it's also one of the leading income generators of the economy. My role in the BPO industry is critical to the business, as I am given the task of reviewing root causes, as well as identifying and implement various strategies to improve the program Teleperformance, as well as mitigating any loss for refinancials. My current roles allow me to play a vital role in managing important clients, vendor relationships, etc. I have no regrets in starting my career in the BPO sector. I say to the BPO, and especially my company, Teleperformance, thank you for my personal growth and success to date. And I leave you with my mantra: aspire to be the best on the team, aspire to be the best for the team. Thank you.
I started in the Montego Bay Free Zone at Vistaprint in 2003. So I've been here for 15 years. My career didn't start here, but I can bet you that, and I can tell you that if I have the opportunity, I would stay here. Working at the Free Zone has given me opportunities to experience first world technologies, to manage people, to interact with personalities across the globe, not only in Jamaica. And that is something that I believe every Jamaican needs to experience. I believe every Jamaican, as a matter of fact, should endeavor to be a part of the Montego Bay Free Zone and be a part of the BPO sector, because it opens opportunities, it opens our eyes. I believe that this is something that, if it wasn't here, we would have been lacking in a lot of ways. So thank you very much for being here and for giving us the opportunity to have a job, to make a life for ourselves, and to be the best person that we can be.
Dodge & Global Marketing Strategy Consulting. Marketing isn't a department, it's a system. Having an integrated and cohesive marketing plan allows each marketing technique to support the others, thereby creating a synergy of branding and growth for your business. Dodge & Global can assist you in making smart decisions with lasting value in regard to the following key decisions. Determine if there is a paying market for your products and services. Craft long-term and short-term marketing goals. Define marketing campaigns. Create marketing strategies. Select powerful marketing techniques to reach your audience. Choose a brand and image that reflects your core message. Design marketing materials. Design internet marketing strategies. track marketing results to determine the strongest techniques. Because it's so important to create an integrated marketing strategy that will bring in business. Get advice and mentoring from people who are already successful marketing experts. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Throughout my 13 years with Teleperformance Alliance One, I have great success stories. I must say, I've started with this company as an agent. Throughout that 13 years, I've grown, moved in different areas such as a QA supervisor, assistant center manager, and currently I hold the position as a contact center manager. Thank you. I've been given various opportunities within Teleperformance. One of the greatest things for me is I have given the opportunity to help to build interaction with employees, to mold employees to be better leaders and upcoming leaders of tomorrow. Within this organization, there are great deeds towards myself in terms of building personal growth and assisting me with my family. Within my 13 years, could I ever think of where do I go from here? It's hard for me to decide. Why? Throughout this 13 years, my confidence, that self-esteem that I've built throughout the year, with support of leaders such as, of course, I will not leave out saying my direct manager, Jake Becker, and other fellow co-workers. Currently, I'm so proud wearing the latest achievement within Teleperformance is I was recently enrolled in Teleperformance University. Now, you may wonder what this is. It's the university created by the company. This exists for the past 10 years. And I'm pleased to say for 8 months ago, I was enrolled in this program. The opportunity that it allows me is I join this college. I get a chance to travel. My last travel was in Brazil. This is a big deal for me. That's 2 months ago I get to go to Brazil. I have an upcoming trip that will be in Philippines. I'm excited about that one as well. And of course, graduation in Greece. These are my dream places to visit, and so I'll say thanks to Teleperformance for that.
My name is Corrine Phillips Brown. I have over 12 years of experience in the BPO industry. I started out as a hard trainee in the accounting department. With my experience gathered in this sector and through self-study, I completed my career as a chartered accountant. I am now a member of the international body of ACCA and also the local body of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica. With my qualification and experience, I am now the finance manager of a 1,900-seat, Fortune 500 BPO company. I was instrumental in starting the accounting operation here in Jamaica. This has seen, because of the success, several other accounting jobs being migrated. In the process, we are planning to expand our shared services division. Some of my tasks as an accountant include financial statement reporting, analysis, and consolidation. My plan is to continue in this sector. I am really passionate about working in the BPO industry. Thank you.
I am the managing director for Avantmark Technologies. We were formerly Industa Global,
And we have been in the free zone for the past 2 years. But Indusa has been around for almost 20 years. Now, we are on the ground floor of Data Building 3, right on the same building with Market Track. We have 11 employees. We have 8 programmers, 3 accounting and data entry staff that are responsible for the accounting needs of 2 of our clients. All our employees are Jamaican-born, Jamaican-educated, going to University of UTEC, University of the West Indies, and NCU. Combined, all of our employees, we have over 50 years of programming experience. Though we are a small company, we have developed software applications, both web and mobile, for the health, transport, and the tourism sector for both the US, for clients in the US, as well as in the Caribbean. Currently, we're working on a logistics platform for a large freight brokerage and transportation management company in Colorado. Another project that we're currently working on is building a custom CRM system for that same logistics customer that has already improved the way this logistic client services its customers. These systems all leverage the power of cloud computing, mobile applications, and will eventually use machine learning and artificial intelligence to provide our clients with any advantage that they can in that very competitive market. What makes us different from any other software development firm? It's not that we have the best programmers. We do have some really good ones, but we can hold our own with anyone in the world. It's not that we have the best facilities. We're getting there, though. It's not that we have the best salaries. We're going to get there, though. But what we do is that we have a passion for technology. We embrace modern technology and are not afraid to implement it in solutions where we see that it provides an advantage to our clients. We're agile in our approach to work, so we can adapt quickly to changes. We believe in automation first, so we can free people to focus more on value-added tasks and building stronger customer relations for their employers. And above all, we have the best 11 people that anybody could ask for. Our small team of 11 programmers pulls together like a well-oiled machine. Finally, we don't intend to stay small forever. We may never grow to the size of some of our neighbors due to the sheer nature of our jobs, but we intend to leave a mark on this free zone where we aren't always known by the address relative to our neighbors. So for example, the door across from Unique Vacations, who have now migrated to the east side, or the building that Market Track is on, but by our work and our impact we have on the community and Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly represent Avantmark Technologies. Thank you.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about home sweet home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
The government of Jamaica has 4 main lines of effort that lead into one main objective. And these are the sound fiscal management and financial management of the public's affairs. The second is to create and support the conditions for private sector-led growth. The third is to create meaningful employment for all Jamaicans, but the broader picture is to ensure that all Jamaicans are involved in work. The fourth is to ensure the security and safety and peace of communities and households within Jamaica. And all of these lead into the ultimate objective of securing Jamaica's economic independence. I believe that if you assess the performance of the government on its lines of effort, you will come to the conclusion that the government can report significant success. For example, there is no question that the government has achieved major success in ensuring the fiscal certainty of our economy. The debt has been reduced from 141% of GDP to this year we will be just below 100% of GDP. And that is the ultimate index. But there are other things that we should measure fiscal performance on. And that is, for example, the government has seen significant investments taking place in the development of infrastructure. But a large part of that does not rely on the government's fiscal accounts. In other words, we have pursued the expansion of infrastructure and capital formation without having to rely on the budget of the government. Now, this is a perfect example. The PAJ, out of its own resources, that is the Port Authority of Jamaica, out of its own resources, have made this investment, and this investment will bring a financial windfall. Maybe windfall is too much, but certainly profit that you can use to reinvest. But the policy of the government is that all its public bodies must stand financially sound and fiscally certain on their own. And all the assets that they have, we must see to their full utilization. So all the warehouses that are empty, all the parking lots that are now volleyball and football fields, all the real estate that are unoccupied and unused, all the lands that are just growing wild bush, we must find appropriate and high value usage for them. And that strategy has worked. And I want to commend the Port Authority of Jamaica in being at the lead in fulfilling that strategy, in ensuring that our port facilities are being developed, in ensuring that our BPO facilities, those that exist and the new ones that are being developed. And whilst this facility may be the most modern in the Port Authority's portfolio of BPO facilities, I happen to know that the work in Portmore, the Portmore, what is it called? In Informatics Park, the PIP, that will be an ultra-modern facility and will probably eclipse what is being done here. In as much as we are pushing forward to see the development of the infrastructure and supporting capital formation without call on the government budget. I mean, the government has to have some involvement, but where these things are commercial in nature, we believe that it should be the private sector or corporately operated public agencies that do them. But the government must also look at the landscape and look to the horizon, because I've often said that, you know, the ship of state is almost like a submarine. It's under sea. It doesn't always see the big picture or the horizon, and so it has to have a periscope that looks up above the water and can see what is to come. Governments have to analyze future risks. So we are making investments now, but one thing of which we are certain is that conditions will change. They can change for the better, or they can change for the worst. One thing we must ensure is that whatever the change that occurs, Jamaica is in a position to survive and be resilient. That is, be able to recover very quickly from adverse change or take advantage of opportunities that present themselves. And so the government must always be forward-looking. And in that forward-looking stance, the government must say, what are the risks that are on the horizon for our fiscal certainty? What are the risks that could cause the government to have to, for example, put on more taxes? What are the risks, for example, that could cause the government to incur more debt? And from now, try to avoid those risks. So our strategy of ensuring that the private sector, along with corporately run public agencies, take on the risks of developing infrastructure and capital formation, that strategy works for the people of Jamaica because it ensures that at no time will there be a call on you, the public, to pay for any eventualities that may happen, and that paying for means either higher taxes or we have to cut services.
Take the guesswork out of improving your IT infrastructure. The field of IT changes so quickly that it can be hard to plan a strategy while keeping up with technological advancements. Yet, without a strategic roadmap built on data-driven insights, your staff can be overworked, spending excessive time putting out technical fires, instead of focusing on strategic tasks that fulfill core business needs. Our IT consulting services are the first step towards transforming your enterprise IT and improving your business efficiency. Our experts have the industry experience and best-in-class tools to methodically assess your entire support operation. We look at your IT support services holistically, identifying improvement areas that will have the greatest impact on employee productivity, service levels, and customer satisfaction. Need help improving your infrastructure uptime? Contact us to discuss a solution that will provide you greater productivity and efficiency. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
In its present state, Petrojam is a fiscal risk to the government. The truth is that after the JPS ceases to be its major customer by virtue of a decision that the government made to diversify its fuel mix to include LNG, which is a more stable fuel in terms of its commodity pricing, and probably better in the long run for Jamaica, and a more efficient fuel from an environmental perspective. We took that decision. When we took the decision, we should have also considered the other impacts of that decision, which means that Petrojam could lose or will lose 50% of its custom. That could mean, very well mean, that the operations of Petrojam could become a call on the government. And I use the term government, but I shouldn't, because in the consciousness of Jamaica, the Jamaican people see the government as separate from them, which is not the case. The government is just the accumulation of you. So if it is a call on the government's purse is a collection from your pocket. And that's what it is. It is going to be a call on your pocket. So I am not running a government that is under siege, not knowing what is coming in the future, as we have had governments do in the past. And then we happen upon situations. And those who are being critical of the government now should explain why it is we are happening up on situations that are creating fiscal risks for the government. This government is giving the people of Jamaica the commitment that we will not just manage the situations that exist now, but we are managing the situations to come. And you can be assured that the government I lead will always make decisions in the interest of the Jamaican people first. So you may be wondering, what's the connection? But I hope you see that the strategy of the government in doing all of this is about this line of effort in ensuring that Jamaica's government, meaning the collection of your pockets, is fiscally sound. On the line of effort of creating employment, that the government has done exceptionally well. 1.3 million Jamaicans are employed. That's the highest number since the recorded history of the statistic. Now, that's a commitment we made, and we intend to continue to push for greater employment because I believe we can reach full employment, and we are not far away from it. We recognize that training and education is a constraint on our growth and employment prospects. Kind of ironic, isn't it? But it is the truth. Our education system, its output, our socialization coming from our households, are all impacting on the rate at which we increase our employment. I have here today, of course, the chairman of HEART, Mr. Edward Gabidon, and he knows that I have been breathing down the neck of HEART to put in place an effective strategy of training persons for the BPO industry. I know that they have an effort underway, and it has made an impact. But I'm always concerned when I hear of situations that a BPO enterprise opened just a few doors down, and then the BPO enterprise that was always in existence would come to work on a Monday morning and half its staff is gone over to the next BPO. And then they are in a quandary and a scurry trying to find replacements. We hear those stories and the government takes it seriously. We must rapidly increase our training to support the expansion of the industry. It can't be that we have investors here and we are not supplying very quickly the quality trained workers. We have to get cracking on that in a more aggressive way. And it is not that we don't have the people. You know where they are? Some of them are in lottery scamming. Some of them are in crime. And many of them are at home sitting down doing nothing. And when you go to them, well, me can't leave my baby. Or they hide. Because I've seen the reports. We have gone into communities with programs offering people to be trained, and they refuse to take it. Why? It is clear that the policy of the government can't be just employment. The policy of the government has to be to create a culture of work. So, I want to thank you. because if you let me, I'll go on and on and on. But I want to thank you for being such a good audience and for listening. And again, let me congratulate the PAJ and the team for bringing this project to fruition. I gather now you would be above 10,600 persons employed here, and that the BPO sector in terms of its employment is now in excess of 36,000 persons, in excess of 36,000. I'm certain that before the year is out, we should be close to 40, if not passing it. My view, and I continue to maintain it, is that we could have hundreds of thousands of persons employed in the BPO sector, providing we can release the constraint of the trained labor force and build out the spaces. As it has turned out, it has been easier to build out the spaces than to relieve the constraint of employment. But I give the assurance that we are working on both. God bless you all. Happy New Year. Health, prosperity, happiness, and peace.
Doggin Global is an integrated multidisciplinary professional service firm in the Caribbean region. We are integrated as one regional firm and provide several professional services, including audit and assurance, advisory, tax, risk, and legal. Our advisory services focus on our clients' most critical issues and opportunities: strategy, marketing, organization, operations, technology, transformation, digital, advanced analytics, corporate finance, mergers and acquisitions, and sustainability across all industries and geographies. Growing your business through mergers and acquisition, raising finance, or looking to join public markets requires specialist advice. Doggin Global provide a full range of corporate finance services, from initial assessment of strategy through to deal completion. In-depth knowledge of industry sectors and markets provides valuable insight into specific opportunities and risks for your company. Our corporate finance specialists assist clients to develop an acquisition approach, identify targets or interested parties, instigate negotiations, and help conclude transactions. Our global reach allows us to provide advice and local knowledge to assist with foreign acquisitions and sales. How Doggin Global can help. If you're looking to sell your business or plan an exit strategy, Doggin Global can help you with initial preparation, valuation, and marketing to potential investors, negotiation through to tax minimization and investment planning. Doggin Global corporate finance includes business valuations, raising finance, financial restructuring, negotiations and vendor protections, IPOs or flotation, management buyouts or ins, key management incentive schemes, succession planning and development, preparing businesses for sale, exit strategies, contact information, website www.doggin.global, email info@doggin.global, Caribbean headquarters, Doggin Global, Doggin Towers, 4749, Trinidad Terrace, Kingston 5, Jamaica. Telephone 876-929-2518, 876-926-5210, 876-630-2011.
This is Jennifer MacDonald, CEO of the PSOJ. You're watching BATV, serious about business.
This new building brings new opportunity to Montego Bay as a city of which we are in the Caribbean, and we are the fastest developing city in the Caribbean. But this new building will mean thousands of new jobs for young people, not only from St. James, but from adjoining parishes. And wherever job opportunities are created for the multiplier effect. And it is very good for Montego Bay for us to be opening this over 60,000 square foot of space here today. The Montego Bay is known as the hospitality location in the Caribbean. We are more hospitable than any other parts of Jamaica and the Caribbean. The expatriates feel very comfortable, feel very welcome, feel very accommodative when they are here to do business, right? So it is a natural fit for us here in Montego Bay to embrace our expatriates, to embrace our local investors, and to embrace our new workers that are working in this free zone area, which the last count that I had, we have probably over 12,000 persons employed in the BPO sector in Montego Bay. And just having a discussion in another 3 to 4 years, it might be up to 15, 16,000. So it is growing. So Montego Bay is the place for BPO. I know it is being branched out in other areas of Jamaica, which I commend that also. But Montego Bay will be the preferred destination because we are the hospitality capital of the Caribbean. We in St. James, we are ahead of the rest because the Artrust NTA, the high schools, the secondary schools are integral. They go into the school and when they have their student awareness as it relates to job opportunities, the BPO sector plays a very, very pivotal role. And I must say to you, this is an era in which is a good start for any young persons. Because to leave school with 2 or 3 CXC subjects, you know that in most cases you can't go into college with that. You can't go to a university with that. But you can enter the BPO sector, earn yourself much more than what you would have been earning if you were sitting down at home, and build your capacity from there. So it is a good start for those who did not achieve the 5, 6, 7 subjects to move on to college and to move on to university. So I would encourage all young people who have acquired 1, 2, 3, 4 subjects and they want to make a start in life to start at the BPO. It is a steady and growing industry. And I know a lot of them that started, and a number of them now are in supervisory position, big supervisory position, taking home working and living salary. So, I mean, I must tell you, you can know when they just started working. You know, they don't look that bouncy, but after 3 months and the hairstyle change, the whole makeup change, the clothing change, and you know that they are making money and they are earning their way to prosperity.
As an iconic building, it demonstrates that we are committed to a world-class type of facility for the services that are offered here. We're also keen on moving upscale from just the normal call center type operations to more knowledge-based operations. And we believe that those jobs will be even more attractive to the graduates from our university system, as well as those that you asked about, which are those who want to work and study. Students in some of these areas, the areas that I've spoken about, law, finance, medicine, and so on, will want to have jobs that relate to the things that they're studying. And the opportunity then to be working here and going to the Western Jamaica campus or the other campuses in the region would be very attractive for them. The manager of the facility, Gloria Henry, is already has collaborations with the community center here. So there are a number of students who are workers here, employees here in the center, but who are pursuing degrees and other programs at the community center. So there's quite a symbiotic relationship between the university system and what we have here going here at the Montego Bay Free Zone.
BPO is excellent for Montego Bay. Gives a lot of employment, has a lot of people, and is expanding very rapidly. And it will be a big future for the town. And with the bypass road coming next year, makes a huge difference to Montego Bay.
So my name is Deborah Fraser. I'm the CEO for Caribbean HR Solutions. We are an HR outsourcing company. So we support, for the most part, business process outsourcing players who are coming into Jamaica and help them to launch and to find all of their staff, to develop their HR programs, and to keep them in compliance with Jamaican labor laws. So this new building is really very, very impressive. Jamaica has been successful at attracting the top outsourcers globally, and that's responsible for providing really great quality jobs. So companies all over the world are turning to outsourcing their core and non-core activities. And Jamaica has been very, very successful at showing the world that we have bright, talented people who can work in several types of jobs, including quality analysts, workforce managers, service and sales, IT. I mean, it's amazing. So the building really does represent a lot of hard work that this industry. So we're happy to support it.
The opening of this new building is significant. It means growth, it means development for our country, it means providing more jobs for our people. So I think this is a great move and a move in the right direction for us here in Montego Bay and by extension Jamaica.
The building is state-of-the-art, top-notch. Professor Shirley and Gloria Henry really helped Concentrix get a smooth launch in Jamaica, which to date we've built just under 500 seats on the ground floor of this building and a rapid expansion into Kingston. So kind of without the support from them, we would not have been able to expand into Kingston as fast as possible because the facility we got was in top-notch shape. So I think it's a great, great step.
Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Wilson, and I'm the creator of the Ox System. I just felt as if all the hair products I was using in my hair was just not making that difference that I knew was actually possible. So I basically knew something was missing from the products. Every single product that I had tried. It was good, but it just wasn't good enough. And one afternoon, when I was about to start watching, I started to mix a few natural stuff in my kitchen, and I would put it in my hair before the actual conditioner. And about 8 months after I'm doing that every single week, I finally realized that it made a huge difference, and persons were noticing the actual difference. And 2 friends who had salons said, Suzanne, can I try some of it in my clients' hair and see what the reaction is? They really loved it, and then one day I asked one of them, who was not that busy, if she would allow me to actually rent her chair so that I could get in different texture hair, and the rest is actually history. I started doing that in 2010, was when we actually chartered the business. But we really started marketing, social media and so on and so forth about 2 years now, because we were gradually, slowly adding to the hair care line just to make sure that we had a proper system in place. And I mean, we will always be adding, because there will always be things that are needed. We will improve on like something else, so we'll always be doing stuff with our products. We do have a salon, which is our lab. This is actually where we can get proper feedback. We can do trial and error, and we can get feedback also from the clients. We also have a hair care system, shampoo, pre-conditioning booster, conditioner, leave-in rejuvenating mist, serum, hair butter, maintenance oil, and we also have a body butter. But for now, we are kind of concentrating more on our hair care line. In the salon, we only use the Ox system products, except for if we're doing color or we're doing a relaxer. But everything else is just Ox. Why we can do this is because Ox system is a system, and it totally encompasses everything every single step that is necessary to make everybody's hair look really good. Plus, Ox system is also about hair care practices. They are unfamiliar methodologies, but they really work. So we don't only have products on the market, we also combine these products with hair care regimen that are not normal, not typical, but they really make a huge difference. Initially it was OX, but then I realized that another company had the name, and I didn't know who was first on the market. So I said, you know what, how can I make it Ox, where you can still say Ox easily, where it flows off the lips? Just add another X. So to be honest with you, there is really nothing to it. We cater to everybody. Doesn't matter whether you are Black, Indian, white, Chinese. It doesn't matter whether you are a man or a woman. And we also cater to children. It does not matter. Ox is for everybody. We were able to self-capitalize, because remember that we just started. It just has been steady growth over the years. That initial capital was used to buy ingredients and for research and development, and then also, you know, packaging and all of that. I would say that the feedback that we have gotten since Ox has been on board, initially it was disbelief. For instance, even on our social media, we have before and we have afters. Persons have said that it wasn't true, that, you know, that these photos were retouched, is weave we put in their hair and all of that. So we have a few disbelievers. Another thing too is that because our unfamiliar methodologies are so far-fetched, seemingly far-fetched, because they really aren't. They are facts. People tend to not want to believe it. Another thing too is we educate from the core. So we will explain to Black women especially, per se, that African textured hair is very fragile and very delicate. There are some people who believe that African textured hair is strong, which is the furthest from the truth. So by dispelling some of these myths, we get a little resistance. You know, people get offended and everything. But let's put it this way. My thing is, if you are not working with the facts and the truth, then you will never get the result the way you want it. Knowledge is power. So we are trying to impart knowledge so that people can know how to properly execute. With respect to that, we could even go to the salon and you can ask one of the clients over there what has been her experience using Ox and abiding by our unfamiliar methodologies.
Since using the Ox product, I've noticed a great difference in my hair in terms of how it feels, how it looks. It's fuller, it's thicker, it's softer. I've had a lot of compliments on my hair, and basically since coming to Ox, all we've been doing is using natural products. We no longer brushes our hair. We comb our hair like once per week, and it's been phenomenal. Natural fabulosity.
Hi, I'm Carrie. For me, the Ox system has been phenomenal. I am very bad with my hair. I neglect my hair. I don't moisturize. I don't cover anything. And Susan will tell you that I come here with my hair in deplorable state. But whenever I come and she uses her products, my hair looks fabulous, as you can see now. And it's good for moisture. It's good for the texture of your hair. And I fully endorse the product.
Since using the Ox products, I have really been happy with my hair. My name is Elisa. I travel quite often and I make sure that I stock up on my Ox product, which I use every single day. I didn't think I could go without brushing my hair, but as you can see, I haven't brushed my hair since starting using the Ox product, maybe about 8 months now, and I love my hair. I have friends from abroad who are asking me for the products, and I definitely will be in touch with Susan to get me some products.
We do have profits, yes, but it is constantly being reinvested in the business. We are located at 9 Merrick Avenue, which is off South Avenue, and yes, this is a very good location for the business because we are central, and when you think about traffic and all of that, especially when we have clients who come in their lunch times, it's a very good location. My husband, Brian, Sebastian, who is literally like, he's like part of our business. And then we have our Ox team at the salon, very dedicated staff, very loyal staff, and very also serious about what Ox stands for and the information we are trying to impart to everyone. For instance, Fadia, she saw us on Facebook. She was very interested in the befores and the afters, and she came, and she literally came just to purchase products, but she was so fascinated with the different executions that she saw as opposed to what she was trained to actually do, that she sat there for the whole day. And I said, if you wish, you may come and sit again tomorrow. And she did that for about 1 week. And then I said, well, since you already went to beauty school, would you like to help us? And she said yes, and she is still with us today. It has been over 1 year. A culture of professionalism, loyalty, excitement with respect to what we're trying to impart to the world. Right now, Jamaica, but obviously to the world, we like Ox to be a brand. So we make sure that everybody who works for Ox is very excited and empowered about what we're trying to impart, because, for instance, our unfamiliar methodologies go against the grain. Every cosmetology school, whether in Jamaica or in the world, we say things that are not typical. So anyone and everyone who works with us have a loyalty to what we are trying to impart. But for myself and my husband and Sebastian, we never stop working, literally. I mean, there'll be times when I'm on the computer all hours of the night, and so are Sebastian and my husband, Brian. We just never stop working.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
We generate new ideas by listening and really paying attention to the needs of people, right? Especially black women, because black women spend the most money on hair care products every single year, no matter where you are in the world. And one of the reasons is because we don't really have the right answers. So when you don't have the answers, you are constantly searching.
Since coming here, my hair is no longer relaxed. The texture is awesome. It's soft and it has grown, and the whole system is just tremendous, and I would recommend it to anyone.
When you are searching, then you keep buying and you keep buying. So this week you use this product and you think, oh my God, this is supposed to do this, and it doesn't. We listen. We always keep our ears to the to the ground, and we listen. We get feedback from our clients. I even use myself as a guinea pig. I listen to what the Ox team has to say, because they are dealing with like so many different textures also, and just keeping abreast on what is out there, squashing some of the ridiculous stuff that is out there with proper information. We build a successful customer base. We actually garner them initially from social media, word of referrals. We hold on to our customer base by making sure that we listen to their needs. We make sure that we offer a website which has tips and advice, how-to videos. So if they can't get in touch with us, they can go to the website, refresh their memory as to what they're not supposed to do, and of course what they're supposed to do is 24 hours, obviously, it's a website. And like I said, we just really make sure that we listen to their needs and we guide them along the way, always. A huge challenge is our unfamiliar methodologies. Our unfamiliar methodologies really go against the grain. Every single cosmetology school, whether, like I said, here or in the world, are going to be opposed to some of what we are teaching. But we are taking it from the core information. So we understand what the biological structure of the hair is, with whatever race you are. So if you are African textured hair, like we have photos in our salon that show you the different hair textures. So we say why you shouldn't be doing this. This is the reason why. So it's a very huge challenge when it comes to our unfamiliar methodologies, especially. We are really going against the grain. Cosmetology schools are not teaching what we are teaching, but we know that it actually works. We see results. So yes, it's a challenge, but we see the results. And the thing is, even when clients come to us and the change sounds really just not able to be, it seems impossible for them. And we know change is like never easy, or sometimes it is not easy. But once persons abide by our teachings, along with using our products, then what you find is that their co-workers or their family and their friends say, wow, what a way we are seeing a noticeable difference with your hair. And then those challenges now become less challenging. I would say that we have not had any failures. We have had a few hiccups. I will give you an example. For instance, we have satin wear, so we have satin pillowcases and satin headwear, because satin and silk are the only two materials that you should really be using on your hair. So because of that, I made a satin scrunchie. We explain that especially when you're dealing with African textured hair, when it is relaxed, like black women who have relaxed hair. Remember, once again, it is very fragile. So we explain, do not put these scrunchies on tight in the hair. You're not supposed to have your hair tight when you have African textured hair and it is relaxed. Guess what? They were putting it on tight. So I had to just stop making scrunchies because they weren't listening. So now we are working on another satin headwear that you can use to do ponytails and everything. And it will be, even if you do try to make it tight, at least it will not be so damaging. So like I said, we don't consider them failures, we just consider them hiccups, and we make it better. First of all, we make sure that we listen to our customers' needs. We take note of whatever we do also, even executions on ourselves. So we are always listening, we get feedback, and whenever something is not working, because once again, we have that salon. Because we have that salon, we can, basically take care of something that is not working immediately. Like I said, it is like our little lab. And feedback, really paying attention. We really pay attention to the most minute execution. Our growth strategy is to always improve on our products. If we have to add products, we do that. Whenever we have to add to our tips and advice and our unfamiliar methodologies. And with respect to the longevity, we have a website, 24 hours, that has information, how-to videos, common hair issues, how to solve some of these problems with that. But the website is really comprehensive and adds a lot of information. And with respect to the longevity, we are also going to be teaching persons on what to do and always imparting our message out there. And we will also like to spread the word that, and we have had a couple hairdressers who have come to us. They would like to know more about Ox, and this is something that we would like to extend this message, that anyone who wants to learn how to use Ox so that their clients can also enjoy the benefits, they can always contact us. Our information is on the website. Do I believe there's some form of a pattern? Just work, dedicated to work, having a passion, and always staying abreast on what is happening out there and what needs to be done. Always trying to fulfill needs. When you can fulfill needs and fulfill them with integrity, so you work with integrity and you fulfill needs with integrity, you don't put gimmicks out there and people can benefit from the results, that is exactly what we are about. We define success with improvement, people having smiles on their faces, people benefiting from the work that we put in. My greatest fear personally are lizards. No, we don't have any fear. We look on the challenges that Ox will face as just a little bump in the road, and we are just ready for the world. ready to make a difference.
This week on Home Sweet Home, we go around Jamaica to visit a few of our most historical homes, each with their own little story. Our first stop, let's find out.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
Ox team, we are motivated when we see results. We are motivated by the end results. And we just want to make a change. Whenever persons write me on the WhatsApp or they come into the salon or they see me on the road and they say, can you please help me? I am motivated to help them. We are motivated to help them.
Hi, Ox Heads and soon to be Ox Heads. I've been using the product for about 5 years now, before the line expanded to having so many products. I first came to know about the product when I saw a young lady. Her hair looked so wonderfully beautiful. I thought it was a specially made wig. And her hair looks the same way, beautiful, amazingly so, all the time. I drove from St. Catherine to Kingston to meet with Suzanne, and she gave me a thorough run through about it was a preconditioning treatment at the time, now called booster. The value of that being to restore the natural pH balance of the hair so it is most receptive to what you are doing.
What stood out to me the most on my first visit was that it was different. I liked the experience, I liked the fact that they were very gentle on my hair.
Well, my greatest inspiration is my grandfather. He's no longer alive. I would say just people around me. I'm just motivated when I see other people motivated also, especially my Ox team. They are so motivated that sometimes when I'm so tired, because as I said, we have not had a vacation for such a long time, but when I see everybody just working and getting excited, I'm motivated by that. We are unique in the sense that we educate people. We have a website that's very comprehensive. It doesn't only show our products, but it imparts comprehensive, important information to women and men if they are having problems with their hair. We actually target certain issues, and we have videos explaining these issues. We also, in our salon, we have a salon that use the products. So we are very, very different from a lot of people. My favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur is just seeing my creations and my thoughts come to fruition, making a change, seeing women's, faces light up, having women scream in the salon when they can't believe that their hair can look the way that it does. Just really making a difference means a lot to me. I attribute my success, even though I created Brian, he's the engine behind it. He's the force that says, Suzanne, you need to put that out there, or don't just keep it to yourself and everything. So he has really motivated me. I would say that the most satisfying moment in the business is just seeing the satisfaction on people's faces, seeing the improvement with respect to them listening to us and then seeing improvement in their hair and everything. I am happy when I see results, see the smiles on people's faces when they write me or they call me or they come in weekly and they say, Suzanne, you know, or to the other team members, look on how my hair has improved. I cannot believe this. Those are the things that make me happy. Some of the sacrifices, we have not had a vacation for the past 2 years. Just not being able to hang out with friends and family as much as we would like to. But like I said, it is for a purpose and all of that will come in time. Some of the future plans is definitely to be a worldwide brand. We would also like to extend our salon. We would also like to get more into teaching, imparting this information that's unfamiliar, and basically just being more out there where people are more aware of who we are and what we offer and what we are about, and of course extending our product line. My advice to persons who wish to become an entrepreneur is do not allow anybody to squash what you believe in. If it is good for the majority, then you try and capitalize on that talent, whatever it is that you have. Because just always remember this, you are a human being just like they are. Whatever they can do, you can do also. It is very important. That's the way how I live my life, and that's the way how I view others. Nobody is better than you are. So just do whatever it is that you believe in. Do not allow anybody to squash that dream. Don't do it. That is something I mean 100%.
Accounting services. Providing financial information to our clients in a timely and accurate manner is a commitment that we feel cannot be compromised. Meaningful, well-organized financial records ensure that your business operations will run more effectively on a daily basis. Dodgen Global provides a full range of cost-effective accounting services, including the following: general ledger and financial statement preparation, bookkeeping, monthly, quarterly, annually. Accounting system set up for new businesses. Compilation of financial statements. Audits and reviews. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
My name is Levon Flynn, and you're watching Business Access TV. Serious about business.
As a university student, trying to find the perfect accommodation that meets your expectations is quite different from that of the working class individual. Well, today on Home Sweet Home, we're going to take you through some of your options, all while maintaining the perfect GPA. Hi, Georgina.
Hi, Jody. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having us.
No problem.
So, Georgina, you're a student up at the University of the West Indies. What are you studying?
I'm actually an international relations major and a management studies minor, and I'm a finalizing student.
So, how many years?
My degree is 3 years.
Okay.
So this is my final semester, final year, and I'm so happy to be done with this degree.
Okay, so tell me a little little bit what it's like as a student looking for somewhere to live.
I have actually been boarding off campus for 3 years, the full duration of my degree. And it is a bit difficult. I used the classifieds, I used UTEC's boarding list.
So you never wanted to live on campus any other time?
I did, however, after talking with my parents and we were looking at the finances, we decided it would be better to live off campus than live on campus.
Okay, is it cheaper to live off campus?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then also you get your own bathroom.
Oh my God, you don't understand. That is one of the biggest reasons why I decided to live off campus as well.
Okay, and so do you live here by yourself or do you have roommates?
Actually, I have housemates and I have a roommate as well.
Housemate, roommate, tell me the difference.
Okay, roommate is the person that you share the room with.
Okay.
My housemates are the persons that I share the house with.
Okay.
So currently there are 2 males and 6 females.
Okay, wow, how many bedrooms?
There's a single, 2 single, and 3 double.
So along with the classifieds, I'm sure you looked online, how difficult was it to find a place?
It wasn't really difficult. The first list that I used was the UTEC list. Because when I was looking, coming out of sixth form, heading to Kingston to start university, my friends were going to UTEC. So they got a boarding list in their package. I used that list to find a suitable place. There's also a website that you can just type in boarding in Kingston. However, it quotes the price in US. Many of the places on that website are from like Karachi. It's mainly for Mona.
Okay.
Karachi and Ligani, yeah. So you'd go through the list, eliminate what wasn't working for you, and then you'd call the places and then set up a time for meeting. We gave ourselves a timeline. In the space of 2 weeks, we were supposed to finish finding a place and be ready to pay your security deposit to move in. But it wasn't as difficult as I thought it would have been. Because
so you were
we're
able
doing
to find
it as
somewhere
a group.
within the 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you went to, how many places did you go and look at by the time you narrowed it down?
Well, the list was kind of long. Yeah. We were mainly looking in Mona, and Mona tends to have a lot of places. So we went to, I think, around 15 places. Yes, we went to 15. There are places out there, it just takes you to go through the listings in the classifieds and in the list that they give you to find something that you actually like and something within your price range.
So tell me now, how does the agreement look? Because there's housemates, there's roommates, and I'm sure there must be a contract with so many people living together. Is there a contract with the landlord and then a contract that maybe you have with your housemates, like don't drink my milk?
Yes.
Yes.
There's actually a written agreement with the landlord that you sign. Your contract can run from 1 year to 3 years for the duration. It's just the duration.
Right.
So the 1 to 3 years was just an example. With the housemates, if you need something and I have it, you ask me for it and I'll give it to you. We don't use other person's things without getting permission.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Mandeville.
Is there a problem like if your family or your friends come to visit you from Mandeville, can they catch with you?
Yes, they can. In the contract, you're allowed 3 days for persons to stay over. So if my family or friends come from Mandeville, or even my best friend, she lives in Westmoreland, so if she comes from West and she needs to stay over, that's fine, as long as it's not a problem with my roommate, because at the end of the day, you have to remember that this is a shared space.
Tell me more about the options that are available for students in terms of housing.
Well, options vary from living on campus and living off campus. Like if you attend, say, NCU, you can live on, off, UTEC, it's the same, UA, it's the same. So it all depends on what you're looking for, what is suited to your budget or your preference, as said before.
And then if you decide to live on campus, you choose, for UE, you have the halls of residence.
Yes.
And then if you live off campus, there's little houses that you can rent out for either a semester or the year.
Yes.
Okay. And then you can choose whether you want a roommate or a housemate.
Or you want a single room.
There's a lot of options out there, so whatever you want, you'll be able to find it.
That is
and
true.
now when it comes down to price,
Yes.
tell me now, what are the prices that you've come across?
Well, the prices can range between as little as 12,000 to as much as 45.
This is a month?
Yes.
The 45 is where?
The 45 is in the Mona region. Yes.
What does that come with? They have a pet?
You No, you don't.
No?
No,
Okay.
you actually get everything is included. I think you're paying for the infrastructure itself.
Washer, dryer?
Yes, you get everything. Places vary based on what you're looking for. Say a $12,000 place will not include light, water, internet, gas, cable, washer, dryer, etc.
So would it be possible then to just look for a place that's $17,000, $18,000 with everything included? There's that option there too?
Yes, there are options like that. However, those places are typically hard to find because persons like myself, when I find something that is a deal, I am not moving until I am finished with my studies. And persons, there's even a person living here whom he's working now and he's renting here because the rent is affordable and he has student loans to cover.
So then, I know that in Mona there's a lot of student housing. So if you have a working person who wants to come in and live like how you have your roommate here, is that allowed?
Typically, no, because the housing, it's for students, and working persons, they'll want to have their friends or their significant other come and visit, say probably on a school night, and then persons would be uncomfortable. Many working persons would not want to share a room with a student because we're at two different levels.
Right.
Where I'm still in the student mindset, you're in the working person mindset.
Right.
So that's where the disparity comes in.
What seems to be the most popular option when it comes to student housing?
My friends actually live off campus and on campus, so it's a good mixture. For many, why they live on campus is because they've had bad experiences with living off campus, or because they decided that they wanted to be immersed in the hall culture, but you can be immersed in hall culture and UA culture without living on campus. Well, for persons, especially for males, it would be the option of having a single room. And a lot of single rooms for males are available on campus and not necessarily off campus, because landlords tend to want to maximize their profits. But it's dependent on where you look and it's dependent on your landlord. For women, a lot of women like to have a supportive person that they can come home and say, oh, this is my roommate, I can tell her about my day, etc. So, and both of you are in the struggle together.
Right.
So, you know, I uplift you, you uplift me, etc. So for many females that I know, sharing when off campus is better for them.
What were the different factors that you looked at in getting this particular place?
For me, the top priorities: location, price, aesthetics. The other priorities now, persons living there, will I get along with these persons because I'll be spending most of my time between here and school, and this is kind of like my home away from home. Will I get along with these people, etc. That's basically it.
All right, Georgina, so basically if I'm a student, my options are living on the halls of residence, or I can live off campus, and you're here, you live off campus, and you're going to show me around? Okay.
Come on inside.
House hunting is not for the faint of heart, especially if you're a university student. After the break, we'll take a look at a house off campus and see if this option is suitable for you.
Cash flow and budgeting analysis. A business can be profitable and still run into trouble due to cash flow issues. We can forecast and evaluate your company's financial condition, estimate financing requirements, and track cash flow sources and uses. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Georgina, so basically, if I'm a student, my options are living on the halls of residence, or I can live off campus, and you're here, you live off campus, and you're going to show me around? Okay, that's it.
Come on inside. Yes. This is my living room. Currently, we have one single room here. A gentleman lives here. Another room here, shared by two girls. One's a nurse and one's studying entrepreneurship. And around here, we have another room. Yeah, they're kind of down there. And then this is my room.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to show you my room now. So enter. This is my little space. Yeah.
Very cozy.
Bathroom, as I was telling you, which is very
very
important. And we share the
storage space
and we each have our own chest of drawers.
Okay. So this kind of accommodation, is this typically what students can find? Are they more elaborate or more basic?
It depends on where you go and what you're looking for, as I've stated before. They get more elaborate. But this is typically how the houses that aren't in the traditionally dormitory communities, like Mona, this is how they look.
Okay. Now, I know you had said earlier it took you about 2 weeks to find your place. Now, you know what your friends have said, and you know when people talk, how long does it take on average for someone to find their perfect space?
On average, it can take like a month, because after you leave sixth form, that's when you have to start looking. The reason why we found a place in 2 weeks as well was because we also had a point person in Kingston, someone who had already known the ropes and was helping us along to know where we're supposed to go. So it's good to find assistance. But normally by yourself on your own, it will probably take like, say, a month and a half to find a suitable place. But at the same time, say you find somewhere, you like it, but you don't love it, you can change it into the way that you want. Decorate how you want, accessorize how you want. It's all about you getting a space and turning the space into your own, with the permission of the landlord, of course.
Okay, so for a prospective student looking for somewhere to live, what are some of the tips that you would give them to find their perfect accommodation?
Well, start to look from early. That's number one. Number two, figure out your price range. Are you willing to pay a lot? Are you not willing to pay a lot? Will you go in the middle? Be prepared to negotiate. Be prepared to share a space with, say, someone that you've never met if you're unable to find suitable accommodations. I don't want to come off as saying you're going to lose some friends, but yeah, be prepared for that as well, because persons will be living on campus and they'll be changing friends, they'll be growing, they'll be becoming young adults, or
it's a part of the university
it's a part of the university experience for you to either become a better version of yourself or a worse version of yourself. It's all about you. So that's basically it. And get comfortable. Come with the stuff that reminds you of home, especially for a young student. Say you're 17, 18, bring stuff that reminds you of home. Yeah, it's not to get sentimental or anything, but it helps you cope, especially when it's closer to exam times and you can't get to go home, you can't get to see your family. Talking to them via Skype or on the phone is good and all, but at the end of the day, sometimes you just need something that reminds you of your family and of home. Yes.
Georgina, thank you so much for having us. And definitely, well, if I was a student, I know exactly what I would do if I wanted to live on campus or off campus. And thank you so much for those tips, especially the last one, to bring something that reminds you of home. I think that's very important. Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming, guys.
Are you going to cook me some lunch now?
Well, what would you like?
Well, let's see what there is. I see a whole heap of things in the kitchen. on the other side of the break, we'll be speaking with Jason McKenzie, Acting Director, Office of Student Services and Development at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. He'll be telling us everything we need to know about living on campus. Home Sweet Home will be right back after the break.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
I'm Jody.
Jason McKenzie.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure having you. Please have a seat.
Thank you. Now, here at the University of the West Indies, it's known as a hall of residence and not a dormitory. Can you tell us why?
It is a hall of residence because it's a space that provides certain developmental opportunities for our students. Essentially, a dormitory, people would just tend to sleep and rest in those, whereas in a hall of residence, it's not just a place to sleep, but a place where certain developmental activities take place. And that's the main distinction between a hall of residence and a dormitory.
Okay, so students living in the hall of residence, what are some of the benefits that they can get?
Living in a hall of residence allows for our students to be closer to the many facilities here on the campus. So they can walk to the library at any point in time. They are able to access better safety and security. It also allows for them to interact with persons from different backgrounds, living in that kind of a global village, as it were. Importantly as well, a hall of residence is a unique environment for living and for learning. So they are learning certain life skills while they reside in a hall of residence.
Okay, so the hall of residence, it's similar then to a rental agreement?
Yes, they do sign a hall agreement because it's important that they abide by certain rules and regulations that are set by the institution. Importantly as well, they need to make payment, so the hall license agreement will speak to the kind of resources that they need to make available to us, the kind of facilities that we will offer for them, and the kind of conduct that we expect of our students while living in a hall of residence.
And how long is each time period that you can sign up for?
The agreement is for a year, but students, if they choose to, can spend a semester. After the year though, they may apply or reapply to live in the hall, and they may be granted accommodation for another year. So it's a year-by-year basis that they enter into an arrangement with us.
How many rooms do you think there are on campus?
We have 3,786 spaces currently on campus. And these are scattered through 10 halls of residence.
So what are some of the restrictions for the students living within the halls? Are they allowed visitors? Are they allowed visitors after certain hours? What are some of the no-nos?
The safety and security of our students are of utmost importance. Certainly they are allowed visitors. We have visiting hours as well because you want to maintain certain behavioral patterns within that space, and you do not want for a visitor to be of an inconvenience to somebody who was paid to be within that space. So our visiting period ranges from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Can the student leave campus? Is there a curfew for them to come back in and be in the hall of residence?
No, they are indeed adults, and so they are allowed to leave and return at their own discretion.
Are there any other policies that students need to abide by?
The institution itself has broad policies and regulations that speak to students' conduct. And so whether or not you're living in a hall of residence or you are a commuting student, you're expected to abide by these rules and regulations.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the units. Are some of them furnished? None are furnished? Appliances, are they included? How new are some of the halls? Give me a little idea of what I can expect when I go on my tour.
The first of the existing hall of residence is Irving Hall, and that came into being in 1950. The most recent hall of residence came into being in 2015. So we have, you know, a range of halls in terms of the age of the facilities. Importantly though, they are fully furnished spaces. And so there are different accommodation types. We have an all-female hall. We also have an all-male hall. Importantly, there are double rooms and there are single rooms. These are all furnished spaces, so they will come with a bed, a chair, an easy chair, a chest of drawers. You will also have bookshelves, a study lamp, and so on. So, you know, a comfortable setting where students can relax. Students can take care of their academic work, but importantly, there are common spaces where students can meet and interact and benefit from our developmental programs. Okay. It's a holistic environment. It's a community within a community where students learn, develop, grow, and become better individuals, because we believe that we're producing citizens that are global in their thinking and that are able to work with persons from various backgrounds.
You had said earlier that there were about 3,700 spaces available to students. About how many of those spaces right now are occupied?
We have full occupancy. There is a high demand for accommodation on campus.
But is it possible for me to take a look around at one of the halls?
It would be my pleasure to show you one of the halls of residence.
Which hall are we going to go to? Because I know you said that there's 10.
We'll go to the Elsa Leorani Hall of Residence.
Okay, great.
So this is Mr. Anderson. I'm manager for the hall. Nice to meet you. How are you doing? Yes.
So this is what it is.
Oh wow! This really reminds me of college.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anderson, for hosting us. So Jody, this is Bertram Anderson, the Student Service and Development Manager for Elsa Leo Riney Hall, and he's responsible for the developmental activities that we spoke about that happen within a hall of residence, to include leadership, mentorship, community outreach, and so on. So he's the one who is responsible for delivering the developmental programs.
Okay.
Thank you for coming.
There were a couple different towers. How many towers are there?
There are 5 towers. There are approximately 600 students that live in towers. Only one of the towers that you have seen houses double occupancy.
As a student, how would I apply to live in one of the residences?
Well, as a new student, a new applicant to the university, the application form includes a section for student housing. So you will apply indicating your hall of choice. And then we will do that processing. As long as you're accepted by the institution, then we will write to you to indicate whether or not you have been successful in your application. For students who are already living in a hall of residence, the period March 1 to the 31st of March is the application period. So the returning students will apply during that period, and we'll also process their application. And by the end of the semester, they will know whether or not they have been successful in their application.
So returning students, do they have more of a better chance of getting in, like, than a new student?
Well, we'll leave a certain percentage of the space for new students,
okay,
because we really want to give each student an opportunity to live in a hall of residence.
Thank you so much for showing me around. I'm sure the student that lives here is very happy. I can see that she has her books out, ready to study. And thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure.
Today we looked at some of the housing options available to university students, and we also shared some tips with you on how to make the transition from your parents' house into your own space a little bit smoother. I'm Jody, and that's it for this week of Home Sweet Home.
Dodgen Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodgen Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodgen Global. Requirement: first degree in accounting. Employed at Dodgen Global. Willing to pursue the CPA examination. Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodgen Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
I started out selling out of the trunk of my car.
If everybody think the same way, everybody going in the same line.
Being an entrepreneur takes everything that you've got. Weekends? What's weekends? We work on a weekend.
There are real opportunities everywhere you look.
But you have to have the passion.
If I do my part well, then everything is okay.
We believed in ourselves and our families believed in us.
Being convinced of this great opportunity, why we are all here doing what we're doing now.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225.